Alright, welcome back everybody. We're back here with our Lords of the Fallen walkthrough. This is going to be video number 5. And we're picking up where we left off at this Vestige Seed. I am going to take a look at my gear real quick. And actually, let me see, what do I have? Yeah, I can upgrade my Radiance and finally start using some Radiant magic. We'll go ahead and take the Radiance to 20 for right now. I feel good about that, so we'll go with that. And then I might change some of my gear here. What do we got? Probably gonna change that. Gauntlets. Probably go with those. I want to stay in medium encumbrance. Those are still good leggings. What do I got for a helmet? Oh, this is actually a helmet that you get from one of the shrines. It must have been carried over from my other character. This helmet, all of the shrine tinks and helmets don't go towards the trophies, so don't think that you have to rack up a bunch of multiplayer, coins and eyes and everything and get everything from the shrines. They're non-trophy related, so you will get the gear trophies and all that without having to get the armor sets and the tinks from the shrines. So but let me see, if that doesn't take me into heavy, I'll probably go with that. I'm gonna go ahead and equip my catalyst here. For spells, I'll start off with, no, I want that on R2, the Radiant Flare, Sanctify. Oh, where do I want to put that? Okay, if I have, I want to put use, let's see, I'll have my heal on R1. That I like to keep on square to buff my weapon. And it looks like Sanctify is going under X, so that's going to be our spell layout for now. Until later on we'll get a catalyst where we can hold 5 spells, but okay, so I switched my gear. I'm also going to go back to Skyrest real quick before we continue, because I believe I have a couple Sanguinarix upgrades.
The Descryers harbor many of the more believe, and yet despite, is that not a sign?
Yeah, I can upgrade my Sanguinarix.
Fellow sanctified vessel, may Aureus's divine radiance flow through me and into you.
Let's see, can I upgrade it again? No, I need 2 more for the next upgrade. So that actually gained me another heal, so I have 5 heals now instead of 4. What else did I want to do? I don't know if I can give Dunmire this rosary yet or not.
If the abominable to demand more, for their death is a merciful release.
Yes, I can. So I can give him the Boros rosary.
Infiltrating secluded and hostile territory. Let the predator wherever it will always. You'll serve a higher purpose.
And it looks like he has a new sword. He has Boros sword, and he has a Radiance spell. I'm gonna end up buying that off of him. I probably don't need to buy it right now, but on a first playthrough, like I said, I would buy all the spells because there's not too many that you have to buy. Some of them you'll buy with Umbral Scourings from Molehue through bosses, but yeah, I'd pick up all the spells on my first run, and you know, get all the work towards those trophies. So we'll leave that right there for now. Andreas has moved since the last time we were at Skyrest. If you remember, in the beginning of the game, we talked to him down there, and at a certain point in the game, he moves to here. And when you see him here, you want to run through his dialogue. I believe he's going to give us the thief key right now.
And who knows? Morn said maybe that the rest, even without men of all, they need someone before they all tear.
Yeah, there it is. He gave us the key to open up the thief. So you want to make sure you talk through all his dialogue, get that key, and then we are probably... Oh, one more thing. The reason when I fought that face enemy, as I usually call him, the mendacious visage, whatever it's really called, and I kept trying to soul flay him, and I didn't have any soul flays. I realized that I never bothered to equip any of my umbral eyes, so we haven't had a chance. We haven't come across a chisel yet to upgrade our lamp, but yeah, there's gonna be 3 upgrades for it. We'll come across all of those, but we do want to socket some eyes. Right now we only have 1 socket, and let's see, dodging at the right time applies wither, or 1 extra soul flay and some dread resistance. That's the one we're gonna use for now. That'll give us 2 soul flays instead of 1. Even though I don't soul flay that often, when I do, it's usually for a specific reason, so good to have that extra soul flay for now. So let me think, can we do anything else here? I probably don't have enough vigor to, but I probably could upgrade weapons if I had the vigor to. That's a new hammer. It's got some decent attack power too. Looks like it's a strength agility weapon. My agility is not quite there for it, but this sword right here I'm using. The question is, do I want to stick with this sword and waste the nuggets on it? And the other question is gonna be, do I want to start dual wielding right now? I think I might try that. Let's see. Let me see what happens when I ditch the shield. What other sword do I want to put on? That's 1. Okay. Let me see how this, yeah, see, I like the dual wielding moveset. I'm used to it. And you can time your attacks a lot better with this moveset, I think. So, yeah, we're gonna try it and dual wield and see how that goes. But other than that, we can move on from here and go back to our last seed and then march on. So we're gonna go to our vestige seedling. And we're gonna go back through here, and like I told you, this time, instead of going right, that's just an enemy drop from the last time I came through here, apparently. And now we're gonna go this way. And we're gonna wanna go umbral here. We have to go in the water anyway. And there's gonna be an umbral belly down here. And the item is going to be the Verdure ring. And there's always gonna be this fairy that appears here as soon as you go for the belly. And keep in mind that if you pop a belly and... Oh, she's gonna get me. Yep. If you pop an umbral belly and you die and do not pick up the item will disappear. So you want to make sure you're popping those at an opportune time where you can pick it up right away, or you know you're going to be able to get it. Because like I said, if you pop it, then get a bunch of enemies over on you, you end up dying for whatever reason, the item will disappear. Unless they've changed that in a patch. But now we're going to come through here. You see the Shuja enemy right there. And when we break through here, now we're in that room that we passed up before. So there's going to be an item right here, a skull. There's going to be an item back here. If you remember, we picked up the item from right here, and we could see that item sitting there, but we passed it up and went this way. So that's basically where we're at now. And then there's going to be a third item, I believe. Oh, it's over here. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's tucked away in this little, cavern part of the cave. But the third item is right there. Looks like they're all skulls, so nothing trophy related, but skulls always come in handy. So we're going to continue this way. Get rid of those guys. Now that I have some magic, I can cast those at him. I'm gonna go ahead and buff my weapon and cast Sanctify. Now Sanctify, what that just did is I was actually poisoned. If you cast Sanctify, it will automatically cure you instantly of any status effect. So, and then while you're standing in the circle, you see my health is rising, so if you stay in that circle while you cast Sanctify, it will heal you. Okay, it's all done. There's nothing we can do this way yet. That's blocked off to us. We're gonna come down here. We're gonna run up the spine. And we're going to pull this little bridge and run up to the body, soulflay it, and it's going to destroy that vein and the umbral entity that's blocking this next area. So we're going to come in here and we're going to turn right around, and there's going to be an item right there. And that is going to be the Forsaken Grenade, which is a throwable. That's a trophy item. Definitely want to pick that up. And if you turn left here, there's going to be a fairy waiting for us. I'm going to hop back and buff my weapon again. Oh, I don't have the mana to. I could use a mana stone for it, but I'm used to having a lot of mana. And like I said, I wear 2 mana rings that regenerate my mana. So that was just the drop from the fairy, but there is an umbral belly there. And it contains an umbral eye, the eye of the pale butcher. So once we get that eye, we're going to turn around. We came from that direction. We're going to go up this way, and we're going to make a left. You'll see an item sitting over there. The item is just a lucky paw, but right when you grab that item, a bunch of enemies drop down from the ceiling. So you'll want to take care of those. Go ahead and pop those for some vigor. We're going to come back this way and head toward the fire. There are some... We're already in Umbral. I don't see them. There's usually some umbral parasites around this area, but anyway, I don't see them there right now. So after we kill that guy, there should be a couple more. Here we go. Go ahead and use mana cluster. And we're gonna see these little breakable doors. This one's got nothing in it. There's nothing that way for us that we're not gonna get here in a second. But we go to this next breakable door. There's a enemy behind it and an item, and it's gonna be Duralium fragments. This next door is gonna have an enemy behind it. Oof. And an item, and that's gonna be the Pale Butcher's Blade. That's actually a pretty decent weapon. So we're gonna come over here, we're gonna kick this plank. That's gonna be a shortcut, and we're gonna come this way. There's a breakable door here with a couple enemies. Careful not to get poisoned, but there's no items in there or anything. So now we're gonna run up here. And if we turn this way and run toward the cage, there's an item. That's a weapon and a weapon buff. Oh, I should have cast Sanctify. That would have healed the poison and also heal my health. So now that was the item that we saw when I said that's nothing that we're gonna end up missing. So now after we did that, we're gonna run back this way. The way we came over that little umbral bridge right there. And we're just gonna drop down in here. If you come all the way to the end, you're gonna see a chest here, and that's gonna be the Angel of the Void set. And we're gonna run this way. There's a couple of these pods that will grow an enemy if you leave them alone. We'll go ahead and pop those. And if you break that, you'll find one of these veins that you can soul flay, and the other one is behind you right there. Kill that mage. And once this door opens up, we're back in this room, and we originally opened up that other umbral door right here. We're gonna run back through here again. Just pass up everything we've already gotten. We're gonna take a right up this hill like we did before. And now we can just come over here and use this umbral exit just to reset the timer, all that good stuff, so the Red Reaper doesn't show up on us while we're doing this next part and getting these last items. So we're gonna go right back into umbral. This is where we exited, right here. We've already gone that way, kicked down the shortcut, gotten all the items from that side. We're gonna come back here, go back into umbral. And there's gonna be another one of those stilt enemies. I'm just gonna knock his stilts off because I don't want to waste any magic or waste any mana stones on him to cast right now. So then we'll just run up here and you'll see that there's a little hut. Inside the hut there's gonna be a fairy. Oh, come on. I hate when my sword gets hung up on the walls. Okay, after we finally killed the fairy, you're gonna see there's an item here. And that is gonna be putrefaction. That is an umbral spell, I believe. Kill that guy there. And then we came out of the hut. We're just gonna come right over here. And we'll be on top of that building where we could see the item. And we'll get the item. Now we can come over here. And there's gonna be an umbral exit. Once we've exited umbral, we can turn back around. Go over to where we just picked up that item, drop down. We've already gotten everything from this whole area. This whole area is clear. We've gotten all the items. We've already been down there. So the next place we move on to is this little bridge to the left. This is where we came from. There was the fire, and we went that way to clear out the area, get all the items. And now we want to go this way. And there's going to be a boss ahead, so we are going to want to drop a seed here. And not only for that reason, but we're also doing Kukugen's quest. So we're going to need to warp to Skyrest here, but let's see, I can upgrade my character, so I'm gonna give myself a little bit more strength right now. Yeah, we'll put it in strength. Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. So now we are going to warp back to Skyrest. And what we're doing here is we're going to kick off Kukugen's quest. Kukugen is down this hallway, directly across from the vestige in the Skyrest. If you turn around, run down this hallway, in this cell to the right is going to be Kukugen. If you remember the last episode, we freed her from being trapped in stone. And also, we just progressed Andreas. He's up there. There's nothing he'll do right now. He gave us the fief key. After we go through the fief, he is going to be in this cell directly across from Kukugen, but that will be a little bit later. Right now, we're going to talk to Kukugen. We're going to run through all of her dialogue. She's basically going to tell us that she's a mercenary and she'll help us with fights. So what we have to do... Okay, she's repeating herself, so she's good to go. Now, the way her quest works is from here on out, for the rest of the game, every heresy fight, that's to say, any boss we fight that has a cutscene from here on out, we're gonna die on purpose first, and then after we die, we're gonna be able to summon Kukugen. When we beat the boss, we have to come back to Skyrest, and we have to pay her mercenary fee, which a lot of times is ridiculous, and she's not that good of a fighter. But like I said, this is a real pain in the ass quest. That's why I like to get it out of the way, and a lot of players don't even have this quest. I'd say probably people that took the time to platinum this game are the ones who've gotten this quest. I think it's like 6% of all players right now. But, so, every time we fight a major boss from here on out, we're gonna die, summon her, and then immediately come back here and pay her. There's also another trophy for fighting every enemy, and we also have to fight her, but obviously that's going to be done in a different playthrough. And the way that would work is we've already freed her. You would make it to this point and talk to her to get her on your side, and then the boss fight that we're about to go do, after the boss fight, you would die, then summon her, and instead of paying her, you just ignore her. From there on out, never talk to her again, and then at a certain part of the game in Kalrath, she will show up as a mini boss fight, and you'll get to demolish her, and that's a necessary fight for the Fight Every Boss trophy. But we're not going to be doing that in this playthrough. We're going to be completing Request, which is a lot harder. So, now we can go ahead and go back to our seedling and proceed with the boss fight. Like I said, first we're going to die on purpose, because as you can see, they must have changed this in a patch, because the dying on purpose thing was weird. It used to be that you could not summon anybody to help you until you died to the boss first. So apparently that's changed. So it looks like Kukujin is ready for us. I think this is her right here. And we're going to ask her for her help. And now we can proceed to the boss fight. I'm going to go ahead and before we jump in here, I'm going to buff my weapon. And I think that's all I need to do for now. We'll skip that. I'm going to go ahead and cast Sanctify right here. And just keep an eye on him. You can see the water moving where he's going to pop up. Looks like he's going to throw a spear at me. So here's my chance to attack. Okay, now he's going to get back on his horse. If I need to, I'll cast Sanctify again. When he does that, you're going to have to roll through this. Oh, I just got hit by it, but anyway, I'll cast my heal. Where'd he go? Alright, here he comes. I guess it's not a good idea to attack him when he's got his shield up. Apparently doesn't work so good. And I just died, and we're gonna go into Umbral. I'm trying to cast, and I don't have the magic to do it. Okay, we got him. It doesn't matter that we went into Umbral, because we're gonna have to go to... You'll see the Kukujin invoice there to the right, because I summoned her. That means we gotta go pay her. We have to go into Umbral anyway. If if you look this way, here is our first beacon, but we needed to go umbral because there's also a stigma right here that we're gonna get. Now, we're gonna talk about beacons. This is the first beacon of the game. There's 5 altogether before we go to Brahma's Castle at the end. The way the beacons work is, if you're going to go for the Inferno ending or the Umbral ending, you do not want to cleanse any beacons. If you're going for the Radiance ending, you cleanse all 5. So if I were going for the Radiance ending, I would say just go ahead and cleanse them as you come to them, because as soon as you cleanse your first beacon, that messes up with Damaro's quest, because obviously she serves Adir, the Inferno god, so that pisses her off, and you're unable to progress her quest any further as soon as you cleanse a beacon. But on your other 2 runs where we're not cleansing any beacons, to go for the Umbral run and the Inferno run, we are not able to complete her quest on the Umbral run. You'll see why a little bit later, but you have to complete her quest on the Inferno run, and I'll explain how to do it in a final video, because we're not going to be able to do it in this video. We're going to take her as far as we can before we inevitably have to kill her, but she also counts as a fight. So when you do your Radiance ending and you cleanse your first beacon, which would be this one, you're not able to progress her quest, but she's gonna disappear until the final area of the game, Brahma's Castle, and she's gonna show up as a fight. And she is one of the boss fights that goes towards that trophy. So you're going to be fighting her when you go for your Radiance ending. And in the ending that we're going for right now, the Umbral ending, we're not really going to be able to do anything with her. We're going to progress her until we have to kill her. But her quest needs to be completed when you're going for your Inferno run. I'll tell you how to do all of that when you do it. It's not too much different than what we're going to be doing, because we're basically going to take it to the final step before we kill her. So, depending on what ending you're going for, if you're just following along my video and you're going to get the Umbral ending, we are not going to cleanse this beacon. We've gotten this stigma, so we're just going to turn around and run the opposite direction. And you'll see there's some torches up ahead. That's the general area we want to be heading for. And up around this corner, there is going to be another stigma for us. Right here.
Hello, little friend. Do you want to play? I know some fun games. Are you hungry? What do you eat?
And here is Tech Ear. We're going to be talking to him in a second. But the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to keep on running. I know there was a vestige there that we just passed up. That Stigma's playing, just got the Umbral Scourings, but we're just going to run straight ahead, drop down into this ditch, because you have to be in Umbral, otherwise it's full of water. Turn around, kick down the shortcut, run across the shortcut, Now we can go ahead and talk to Tech Ear, run through all of his dialogue.
It's an, of course, he only he watches it, he just does so.
And his shop is gonna have a new item, but it's nothing special. You don't have to buy that. The Shuja warriors are going to drop those all the time, so don't even worry about that. What's he got for armor? Nothing I'm too interested in. So now that we've done all that, we can go ahead and rest, get ourselves out of Umbral. Rest. And now, immediately, we are going to go to Skyrest to pay Kukujin. You could do this before the next boss fight, but sometimes it's easy to forget to come back and do it. So I always suggest that when you're trying to complete Kukujin's quest, as soon as you fight the boss, you come straight back here and you're gonna pay her. This time it's 3,000 vigor. It's gonna go up every time, which is way more than she's worth. But hey, we have to do it. So she's repeating herself. We've paid her. She's ready to go for our next fight. The next time we can summon her, we're gonna go ahead and summon her, and we're gonna continue that process up until the last boss of the game. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade my character. Let's see about how many upgrades do I got. We're gonna take strength up another 1 level, I think. Maybe that would be my last point. Yeah, I'll put agility at 10, and then I think we're gonna start hitting on radiance some more, but we'll see what happens. And that's probably gonna do it for video number 5. This seems like a decent time to stop the video, and we're just going to warp back to that last vestige that we just warped from. And we're gonna call that. We will continue from here on our next video. We are going to run through this section, get all the items, and we will see you then. So take care, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.